So the iPhone 15 event is finally official. It's happening on 12th of September and that is crazy. There are two more dates you need to know. One is 15th of September, that is the pre-orders date, and the release date is actually 22nd of September. But do keep this in mind that we're hearing that iPhone 15 Pro Max/Ultra model might see 3 to 4 weeks delay because of the periscope zoom system's yielding issues. But looking at this invitation, we can also see two colors. One is blue and the other one is actually titanium gray. And why I'm saying titanium gray is because these are the two color options, two rumored color options for the iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max, aside from a graphite color option. The blue one actually is going to be a darker shade of midnight blue that we have already seen on the MacBook Air 15-inch model. The black this year is going to be lighter than the iPhone 14 Pro's black according to a leaker, but it's not going to be as light as the iPhone 13 Pro's one. And the gray color is actually going to be a mix between the silver color and gray color. So the edges actually going to be silver and the back panel is actually going to be gray. And talking about the frame is actually going to be made out of titanium this time. And this will actually make the Pro phones much more lighter than the last year's models. For example, the iPhone 15 Pro will be 191 grams only, down from 206 grams of last year's Pro model. And the 15 Pro Max/Ultra model will be 221 grams, down from 240 grams of the iPhone 14 Pro Max. So that's a big reduction. And talking about the other two iPhones, the iPhone 15 and 15 Plus, these two will actually have the same aluminum chassis. And the color options are going to be like this. But also the leaker says that the green color is more likely to be released as a spring color next year. Now, one interesting thing is that even though we are still getting flat sides, but the edges of the frame actually going to be slightly curved for better comfortability for all the iPhone 15 models. And yes, the iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max will also have slightly brushed frame. That means it will be much less fingerprint magnet and it will be much more durable than the stainless steel frame. And another thing is that the both smaller iPhone 15 models will actually have 6.14-inch displays and the bigger models will actually have 6.74 inches display. But the Pro models will actually have 1.55 millimeters thin bezels. And even with the frame, it will be 1.71 millimeters. That is crazy thin. Whereas the normal models will come with the same thicker bezels as the iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max. And talking about the screens, we're also hearing that the Pro Max/Ultra model might also come with a 2500 nits of peak brightness Samsung panel. That is crazy good. Plus, the dynamic island is actually not going to be an exclusive feature for the Pro and Pro Max. It is coming to all the iPhone 15 models. And by the way, we know that USB-C is coming to all the iPhone 15 models, even though the capability is still going to be different. Like the standard models will get much slower data transfer speed, like 480 Mbps or so, and the Pro and Pro Max will have much faster Thunderbolt capabilities. But one coolest thing is that all of them will be braided cables, braided USB-C cables, and that too, they're going to be color matched. Isn't that crazy cool? But other than that, the Pro Max/Ultra model is coming with a 6x periscope optical zoom system. Now, this is the first iPhone to come with it, which is really good. Anyway, the standard models are also getting a major change in the main camera department, which the Pro and Pro Max are not seeing this year. They will still feature the last year's Pro and Pro Max sensors. But the 15 and 15 Plus will actually use a new 48 megapixel sensor with stacked CIS technology. Now, this is the same technology that will be used inside the 16 Pro and Pro Max, but somehow Apple couldn't use the same technology inside this year's Pro and Pro Max. But even then, the sensor size of the 48 megapixel main camera of the standard iPhones are going to be much smaller than the 48 megapixel main camera used inside the current 15 Pro and Pro Max. Lastly, the Pro models are going to be powered by A17 Bionic with up to 15% higher benchmark numbers, 35% lower power draw, and Qualcomm's new X70 based modem with 10 gigabits per second downlink speed. But the standard models are going to come with last year's Pro and Pro Max's A16 Bionic chip. The prices of the standard models are not changing at all, but you will have to pay $100 more for the iPhone 15 Pro compared to last year's model, and for the Pro Max/Ultra model, you will have to spend $100 to $200 more. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, how excited you are for the iPhone 15 series. And yes, if you want, you can get some crazy cool wallpapers up on my website, a link down below. Until the next one, bye and take care.